I found a way to access every AI, I'm talking ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, from one self-hosted interface. And no, I'm not paying for any of these plans, get out of here. Yet I have unlimited usage and I get access to the newest models as soon as they come out. No more waiting. And the best part is that all my people get to use it. I can create accounts for my employees, for my wife, for my kids, and they can access all the new stuff. But the best part is that I have control. For example, my kids, I don't want them accessing every AI model, so I can restrict that. I can also restrict what they can ask, what they get help with, so they're not cheating on their homework and letting out some NetworkChuck secrets. Shh. And I can see all their chats, which really, you should be looking at your kids' AI chats if you're letting them have AI. And you should let them have AI. Hot take, but I think kids need to learn how to use it because that's kind of the future right now. It's not going anywhere. But seriously, I love the solution. It's better security, my data's a bit more safe, and oh my gosh, the amount of features it has, I'm addicted. This might be the better way to use AI. This is OpenWebUI. Now, you've probably heard of it. In fact, I've talked about it, but this video is gonna come at it in a bit different way. I'm gonna try something new. And if you've never heard of it, man, get your coffee ready. I'm gonna have you set up in about 5 minutes. Let's go. Okay, OpenWebUI. It's an open source, self-hosted web interface for AI. And it allows you to use whatever LLM or large language model you want to use. And it's not just cloud stuff like ChatGPT and Claude, which by the way, you're probably wondering, how are we gonna run those? You'll see, it's really awesome. But it's not just those. We can run self-hosted models with Ollama, talking like Llama 3 and Mistral and DeepSeek. You can run them all. And I often run them side by side, 2, 3, sometimes 4. One of my favorite features. Speaking of features, fair warning, there goes your weekend. There are so many to play with, it's addicting. But it's also simple enough for anyone to start using immediately, so don't worry. But I will say this, asterisk. This isn't for everyone. There's one asterisk, one thing that might scare you away. You'll see. But I'm still here, I'm still gonna use it. We'll cover that later. Now, what do we need to get this set up? As I mentioned, this is self-hosted, which means you, yourself, are going to host this somewhere. You're gonna set it up, you're gonna install it, and for that you really have 2 options. Either the cloud. This is the easiest and fastest method, or you can go on-prem, host it in your house. This could be on your laptop, on a NAS, on a Raspberry Pi. I'll show you both options. Whichever you choose is gonna be quick and easy, and you're gonna be like, how was that so fast, and how is this so amazing? Trust me, you will. We'll start with the cloud. Don't blink, it's gonna be fast. And for this option, we'll be setting up what's called a VPS, or a virtual private server, in the cloud. And we'll be setting it up on Hostinger, the sponsor of this video. So real quick, in the description, I have a link, hostinger.com/NetworkChuckVPS. Go ahead and go there. Click on choose your plan, and KVM2 is my favorite option because you're essentially getting yourself a very healthy home lab. Hey, NetworkChuck from the future here. I know you're probably thinking, $6 a month? Why don't I just pay for ChatGPT? Hey, I get it. But here's why I still love this. First, it's cheaper than ChatGPT. Second, you're getting your own server that can host your own ChatGPT, which is just cool. And third, you can host more than just OpenWebUI. The server's beefy enough to do a lot more things. It's a home lab, I'm telling you, a healthy home lab. Just wanted to add that context. Anyways, back to me. Look at this thing. AMD EPYC CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, NVMe storage, plenty of bandwidth, and my favorite feature for all you home labbers, backups and snapshots, because you know, we break stuff, and you're gonna need this. So just know, not only will this puppy run OpenWebUI just fine, you'll be able to add more stuff to it, more projects, resume building moments. I just started watching Home Improvement again, so I feel like I need to do this. Sorry, I couldn't do it. That's embarrassing.
Who did
I'll do some
this?
coffee while I deal with that. Real quick, you do it at home, see if you can do it. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Love that show. That show still hits. Anyways, let's keep building this. So I'll choose the KVM2. If you don't already have an account, it'll ask you to make an account. Choose your term. I'm gonna do not 24 months, 12 months sounds pretty good to me. And check this out. Coupon code right over here on the right, type in NetworkChuck 10, apply that sucker. It's now cheaper. Now pick where you want it to be, somewhere close to you. Actually, yeah, Phoenix is good. I think it will automatically tell you based on the latency to you. And then we'll choose our OS. Now for us, because we wanna do OpenWebUI, we're in luck. We'll actually click on application right here. And we'll click on show more because I don't see it right now. Where you at, buddy? We're gonna be looking for Ollama. Ah, there it is. He's hiding from me. They probably have one of the cutest logos in the industry. We're gonna go ahead and select this because not only will it install Ollama, which is what people can use to install local LLMs, it will also install OpenWebUI like that. And it's gonna be on Ubuntu 24.04, so you can add plenty of stuff on top of that. All right, let's go ahead and click on confirm. Continue. Actually, I lied, you're gonna get logged in right here. Enter all your info. Free malware scanner, sure, okay. Click continue, enter a root password. This will be the password that you'll use to log into your VPS. Click continue, and I think we're almost done. Yeah, finish setup right here, go. And it's setting it up. Right now you have a virtual private server being spun up in the cloud, and they're installing OpenWebUI along with Ollama. And all you have to do is sip some coffee. It's pretty cool. For on-prem, go watch this video right here. I'll walk you through it. Just pause me. I'll still be here. Come back and see me. All right, it is done. We'll click on VPS management page, go look at it. And here is mine. Go ahead and click on manage over here on the right. And right now, OpenWebUI is just waiting for us. Click on the Manage App button right there. What that will do is launch another tab. Go and click on that. Essentially, your public IP address on port 8080, and here we are. This is your OpenWebUI. Unlock mysteries wherever you are. Sounds like AI made that. All right, go and click on Get Started at the bottom there. And here we'll create our first account for OpenWebUI. This first account will be your admin account. So you have godlike powers over everything. Click on Create Admin Account, and celebration, we're here. Okay, let's go. Now, if you followed along with the hosting your setup, you'll see by default, we've got a nice little AI model to play with, Llama 3.2 1B. As opposed to an OpenAI model like ChatGPT, Llama 3.2 is a local model. It will use your server's resources instead of OpenAI's. Let's talk to it. Hey, how are you? And it feels like ChatGPT, right? Same kind of familiar interface, except, as you might see, it's slower. Actually, that wasn't too bad. And it wasn't too bad because this is not a very smart model. It's very small, which means it's gonna be a bit dumber than the other ones. And you won't really be able to run bigger, smarter models unless you have some killer hardware. I'm talking GPUs, Terry, but we don't really care about that right now because we're not done yet. We're about to add some big boy models from the cloud. Now, when you want to access AI models like ChatGPT or Claude, you usually have two options. Option one, normie mode. You go out to ChatGPT, you pay a monthly plan, pay a lot if you want access to all the new stuff, and that's it, you're done. It's easy, no shame, I do it. But then option two is where things get interesting. APIs. Application programming interfaces are what developers use to integrate AI like ChatGPT into their apps and programs. Okay, so what? We're not writing an app, why do we care? Well, it comes down to how they pay for that access. Normies pay a set price per month. APIs, you pay as you go, or you pay for what you use. Two reasons why that's amazing. First, providers normally give API access to all of their models, especially the ones they just released. So think ChatGPT 4.5. That just came out, and the people who have access to that on the normie plans are only the $200 a month people. The $20 pro users, sorry, you're out of luck. But if you're using an API, you get access to that right now. The second cool thing is that you may end up saving money. Not guaranteed, massive asterisk. But if people on your team or in your house aren't really heavy users of AI, paying for a full plan for them doesn't make any sense if they're only gonna be using 50 cents a month. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, let's get it signed up for it right now. Let's go out to OpenAI, and instead of going to ChatGPT, we'll go to openai.com/API, and we'll get signed in or create an account, whatever you gotta do. Once you're in, you'll go to the top right and click on Start Building. And here, yeah, it's gonna ask you for a credit card, but you're not gonna be charged per month. You're only gonna be charged for what you use. Initially, you can add just $5. That's $5 that will sit there until you use it. So I'll go ahead and add a credit card right now. I'll top it off with $5. And then I'll go and create what's called an API key. This will actually unlock all these ChatGPT models for us on the OpenWebUI interface. To get that API key, we'll go to Settings at the top right. Just click that little gear there. Once there, we'll go to the left and click on API keys. And we'll create a new secret key. Name it, put it in the default project, leave everything else as is, and click on Create Secret Key. There's your key. Copy it, let's go put it inside OpenWebUI right now. Here in OpenWebUI, we're gonna go to the top right and click on our profile icon and click on Admin Panel. From here, we'll click on Settings and then Connections. Connections are what give us additional functionality, additional LLMs for OpenWebUI. And right there, there's a blank space baby sitting right there for us. Sorry, Taylor Swift. Well, we're gonna paste our API key right there and click on Save. Now, no fireworks, nothing crazy. What happened? Let's click on the little menu thing on the left to open that up, expand it, and then click on the pencil to start a new chat. And at the top there, we'll change our model from Llama to whatever we stinkin' want. Look at all these GPT models. We have access to everything, including that new 4.5 model. Let's search for it real quick. Where's it at? There it is. Let's start chatting with it. Let's just have fun. And right now, if you followed along, you're using a $200 a month model for nothing. Well, not for nothing. We're about to see. Don't get crazy yet. Let me cover this part because we got to talk about how we pay for these AI interactions. And this is the asterisk, the little, the gotcha you got to be careful about. So when you're talking to an AI model, specifically an LLM, a large language model, that's going to be text-based. The way they charge us is by tokens. It's like Chuck E. Cheese, just without crappy pizza and a scary mouse. Now, what's a token? A token is a word in some cases. So for example, a small word like you, that's probably gonna be one token. Or how. More complex words might be broken up. Actually, let me ask it. How many tokens was your last response? 15 tokens. Break that up so I can see which words were tokens and which were broken up. That's so sick. Okay, it's doing my job for me. Dude, punctuation is its own token. What a ripoff. If you want to save money with AI, don't use punctuation. Okay, words equal tokens. I still don't understand how much money we're being charged. Let's go to the chart. How much you're charged will depend on which model you're using. Certain models are smarter and they require more resources to answer your questions. And that's on display right here. For the O3 mini model, which is a solid model, it's gonna cost you $1.10 per 1 million tokens. So that's a healthy amount of interaction, right? On the other hand, the O1 reasoning model will cost you $15 per million tokens. That's not scary. You wanna see what's scary? The model we were just using, the 4.5, is their most expensive model. $75 per 1 million tokens. And that's just input. Notice they do have an output section too. I wish I could do that for people, like for my kids. Charge them for talking to me, and then when I give out my wisdom, make it more expensive. It's genius. Now I know it's kind of hard to break down, like what does 1 million tokens mean? How much money am I gonna be spending? And am I gonna be saving money? Here's your warning, right? So a casual user, let's say they have 50 conversations a month, about 1,000 tokens each. It could be as low as 50 cents, assuming they're using a model like the 4.0. Now, if you use AI like me, that's very low usage, but some people are like that. A moderate user might have 200 conversations a month, and this could be anywhere from $5 to $10 a month. Power users, and keep in mind, these are all very rough estimates. This can be sky's the limit, right? $20 to infinity. Is that how you draw the infinity symbol? I think I'm nailing it. Yep, got it. Like I can tell you right now, me as a power user, it would not be $20 a month, it'd be a lot more. What impacts that? Well, what models you choose. I talk to the best models a lot. 4.5, oh yeah. 01, 03, talking all day. And my conversations are long, and that does impact how much it's gonna cost. Context. When you're using OpenWebUI, the context of our conversation, our messages are being sent each time I say something to the API so that it knows what I'm talking about. So the number of tokens I'm using exponentially grows with the length of my conversation. And sometimes I sit there and talk for a while with an AI to figure stuff out. Now notice as part of OpenAI's pricing, this is very specific to OpenAI, they do have cached input, which will help offset a lot of those costs. They will cache your responses, kind of keep them in memory over time. I think it's like 24 hours by default. They may change that, don't quote me on that. So I'll say all that as a warning. Be careful. Can this save you money? Maybe, but I wouldn't do this as the primary goal to save money. For me, it's more about, I want to give my family, myself, and my employees access to all the AI, and I don't want to pay for 15 million plans and have to manage all these different things. I want one interface, one place to go, and I want control. Now, if you're worried about this, I will show you ways we can put in budgets with a tool I'm about to show you. It's so cool. You can put a budget in per person so they don't go over. Like you're stuck at $20 a month. If you use that 4.5 all day, you're done, buddy. You're talking to Olama for the rest of the day. Why is Alex's work so crappy after 3? I don't know.
Let's break this down. Oh, this is some scribbly writing. Beautiful. Dude, I'm on a roll today. Let's keep going.
Now we're jumping into a very fun part of this tutorial, and it's to solve a kind of a big problem with OpenWebUI. Check this out. If I go back to my settings where I added the OpenAI API key and my connections, I really only have options for 2 types of connections, OpenAI API and Olama API. Olama being the local option. What about Claude? What about Gemini? What about all these fun ones I want to try? The whole point of this was to try everything. Yeah, that's kind of a problem because you can't just plug in Claude right here or Anthropic. It won't happen. This is where a tool I fell in love with comes in. It's called LiteLLM. LiteLLM is a proxy for AI or a gateway. If we go to the webpage real quick, they connect to so many AIs. I think they say 100 plus, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. So check this out, OpenWebUI. All it's gonna have to connect to is LiteLLM, and it does that just fine. Because it has an OpenAI compatible API, it does great. And then with LiteLLM, we connect everything else. OpenAI, Anthropic, which is Claude, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek, and no, not the one hosted in China. You can actually access an American hosted DeepSeek on another service called Grok with a Q. Very confusing, but very cool. Now, LiteLLM will be a proxy server that will install alongside OpenWebUI. It's not scary, trust me, like it'll take like 3 seconds. You ready? Get your coffee. Let's install LiteLLM. So real quick, we're gonna access the same server we installed OpenWebUI on. If you followed along with me on the hosting your side, setting up a VPS, right here in our portal where we're managing our VPS, we're gonna access the terminal, which is super easy for us. There's a button right here, browser terminal. Go ahead and click on that. For everyone else, just access the terminal of whatever server you wanna deploy this on. We'll deploy it via Docker, very similar to how we set up OpenWebUI on the other tutorial you watched earlier. I said earlier too much. All right, we're inside the terminal. I will have the commands below, but the first thing we'll do is use git to clone the LLM proxy server. Git clone. So let me give me some room up here. There we go. Git clone, and then the address. LiteLLM, ready, set, clone. This will clone that repo from GitHub and create a folder for us that we'll jump into here in a moment. Little coffee break. And it is done. Type in ls to see our new folder. There it is. Type in cd and LiteLLM to jump into that folder. We're in. Now we're only 2 commands away. First thing we'll do is use Nano. Type in Nano, the best text editor ever. And we'll edit the file, the hidden file, .env. Just like that. And we're gonna add 2 lines of config. First we'll type in LiteLLM, all caps, underscore master, underscore key. Then we'll have that equal, quotes, double quotes, sk dash something. Ideally, you want it to be a randomly generated key. Actually, I'll just use Dashlane to do that for me right now. I'll just do digits and letters. We'll do 10 of them. And you'll want to copy this down somewhere. This will be your password to log into the server once we build it. I just clicked out of my browser terminal. Good thing I copied my password. All right, we'll close out with double quotes. Hit enter and we'll add one more line of config. We'll add the LiteLLM salt key. Just like this. And have that equal the same kind of starting point, sk dash, and then a randomly generated string of characters. This will be used to encrypt and decrypt your LLM API key credentials. So I'll randomly generate some stuff real quick. I'll copy all of this real quick. Put that somewhere safe. Then hit Control X, Y, enter to save. And for most scenarios, all we have to do is type in docker-compose up-d. Ready, set, go. And this is literally building our server. We don't have to worry about anything else except making sure we sip some coffee while it's happening. Now while that's installing, let's get our API keys ready. First, we need our OpenAI API key. Easy for me to say. I normally like to create a new key for every service. So I'll create a new one, call this LiteLLM, default project, create it. Copy it, get it ready. And the same process you can repeat for Anthropic for the Claude models, Gemini for the Google-based models. I'm just gonna do Anthropic for now. And I'll grab Grok too. Grok being XAI, Elon Musk's AI, which is actually pretty amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think the Grok 3 is available on API just yet, but I'll go ahead and create a key. And it's done. If you see something like this, you're solid. If we type in Docker PS, because everything is running through Docker, we'll see all of our healthy containers running. Now what we'll do is open up a new tab. Actually, I need to grab the IP address of my server here. Where'd it go? There it is. Grab that IP address, and in your address bar, go out to that IP address, port, I think it's 8,000. And what was it? Oh, it's 4,000. Port 4,000. There we go. And then we'll click on LiteLLM admin panel on UI. Click on that. The username will be admin, and then it will be that master key you set up in the environment variable, the SK1. And we're in. Now, lots of bells and whistles. All we care about right now is doing a few things. First, let's go to models on the left here. And then right here in the top menu, you'll see the option to click on add model, and then we'll add our first model. Let's start with Claude. So I'm gonna click on Anthropic. And we could either choose all models, like just go crazy, select them all, or be very specific. So maybe I only want the 3.7 latest and 2.1 to compare how dumb it is. Then I'll add my API key here and add the model, just like this at the bottom right. Clicking on all models, you can see it sitting right there, 2.1, 3.7. And then here's the cool part. This is where the proxying comes in. We'll go to the top left and click on virtual keys. We're gonna create our own virtual API keys that can control so many things. Check this out. We'll create a new key. For now, we'll say it's owned by us. We don't need a team or anything. We'll name the key, I don't know, kids. So let's say we're making it for my kids. And we'll say the models they can access are 3.7 and 2.1. Checking out optional settings. You can add a budget, $20. And this will be a monthly budget. And you can do a lot of, you can expire the key. They have a thing called guardrails, which we're not gonna cover right now. But we'll go ahead and create the key. And there's our key. We'll copy it. And now we'll add it to OpenWebUI. So here we're in OpenWebUI, we're at our admin panel on the connections, and say, well, I wanna delete my OpenAI API key, delete. I wanna add, you don't have to do that by the way. Now I'm gonna add my LiteLLM API key under the OpenAI API key. I feel like I've been saying OpenAI API so much. The base URL will be http:// localhost port 4000, so :4000. And then we'll put our API key right in here, just like that, and click on, actually no, we'll test it real quick, verify. Connection verified. And that's because they're on the same server. Localhost is right there. Click on save. And now if we go back and try to create a new, oh, there it is. New chat, Claude sitting right there. Oh, that's so cool. How you doing, Claude? Ah, love it. Check this out. I'm just gonna show it to you right now. I was gonna wait, but click on add model. We can put Claude 2.1 there as well. Let's do a new chat actually. Let's add them side by side and say, tell me a riddle. And they'll answer it side by side. How cool is that? Now real quick, I'm not gonna make you wait. I'm gonna add OpenAI and Grok. Now I added these models, and now I have Grok and 4.0 and 0.3 mini, but no one inside of OpenWebUI will have access unless I give it access to those virtual keys. So I can edit my key, go to settings, edit settings, and add additional models. So add 0.3 mini, Grok, 4.0, save. And then now back at OpenWebUI land, I'm gonna refresh and see if they show up. I'm gonna do a new chat. There it is, I grokked the party here, 4.0, 0.3 mini. So now I've got 4 different AIs. And we'll add a llama in for fun too. How many R's are in the word strawberry? And now they're all answering, except for 0.3 mini doesn't like it. Claude got it right, Grok got it right, 4.0 got it right, and llama's dumb. How cool is this? And over here on the LiteLLM side, you can add as many virtual API keys as you want. Add those into OpenWebUI. And actually, check this out. On the LiteLLM side, if I go to usage, it'll show me how much is being spent. It probably needs some time to catch up with the other ones, but this is now my AI hub. And this is where I'll control the budget. And then back in OpenWebUI land, just a few things I want to cover real quick. First, my kids. Let me add my kids to my team here. I go to settings, admin settings, and then users. I can create groups. Let's create a group. Call it kids. I'll go back to overview and create some users here. Kid 1 and kid 2. I can go to my groups, add them to the kids group. And here I can say what permissions they have access to. Can they access models? Can they access knowledge and prompts and tools, which is a whole world of things I can't talk about right now because this video would be way too long. I'll click on save. And we can also control who has access to what models. Let's say I only want them to have access to Claude 3.7 because it's the smartest. I can go in here to the model, click on groups and say, the kids have it. Everyone else, sorry, no. I can also do this, give it a system prompt. You are a school helper. Your job is to help kids with their school, but you cannot do their work for them. Never let them cheat. Never write an essay or solve a problem. You must guide them. And you can only talk about school-related subjects. Guardrails in place. Click on save. And I'll just grab this URL real quick, open it up in a incognito window, and log in as my kids. kid1@hotmail.com. All right, I've only got access to one model. Write a paper for me about George Washington. And there we go. It won't write it for me. What is 2 plus 2? Oh, it gave me the answer. What is 9 times 7 divided by 4? Okay, it'll help with math. Let's ask it something non-school related, like what is the plot of the movie The Matrix? Oh, it's answering. Oh, film studies class. Okay, got it. This is something my daughter would ask. So it just relates it back to school. That's very cool. I like that. Now the best part is getting back to the users. On kid 1 here, who was just having the conversation, I can click on chats, and there it is. And I can jump right in there and see everything that was said. Which, for my employees, I'm not gonna monitor that, and I can turn that off. For my kids, 100%. AI is nuts, and you gotta keep an eye on that kind of stuff. Now, this video is way too long. I'm like sitting here staring at the screen. Can I talk about that? No. Can I talk about that? No. It'd be too long. Let me know if you want me to make another video covering the ins and outs of OpenWebUI, because it has tools, prompts, functions, pipelines, image generation. Oh, it's so addicting. And I would love to hear if you've done anything cool with this as well. Now, there's one last piece of this I haven't shown you yet, and that's this up here. Right now, it's just an IP address. You don't want to give your family and friends an IP address like, hey, go out to 185.2.8.2.2.4. Like, that's the new AI server. No, that's terrible. I'm gonna walk you through how to set up a DNS name. We'll purchase it on Hostinger. I'm gonna walk you through how to set up a friendly domain name for this. But we'll do that in a separate video right here. That's all I got. Thanks again to Hostinger for sponsoring this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Get control of yourself, shop.